Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
Good evening. I think we will begin and let people join in. Is that okay?
Yeah, just a couple of minutes and then you can start.
Okay, will do.
Yeah.
Yeah. You let me know.
Sure. So has everyone finished with their respective tasks of creating videos and all of that?
Good evening.
So I think everywhere it's raining. Am I correct? Here in Mumbai.
Pune is overcast.
Great.
Yep.
We have a chocolatey day.
What better chocolate day than a Sunday to enjoy that?
I think, Smith, can we start?
Yeah, just a minute. Just 1 minute, please.
Chef Vivek would join, I wish.
Yep. Okay, I think we're ready to start. Deepa, could you unmute yourself and just start?
Hi, everyone. This is Deepa from the Bakers Arena team. I welcome you to the workshop. Let's get down to business, brought to you by the Bakers Arena, the baking edition of Cook a Dream. Now, Cook a Dream, as you all know, is a unique event where we combine a contest with workshops to not only challenge the contestants and the participants, but also handhold them by educating them along the way, like we have this series of knowledge series workshops going on right now. The Bakers Arena is powered by the Chefs Arena, India's first B2B magazine dedicated to the masters of the kitchen. I would like to introduce you to our sponsors. The Bakers Arena is presented by the Chefs Arena, as you know, and Haldirams. Our associate partners are Rich and Amity University. Rich will be giving out hampers to the winners, and from Amity University, we have a specially designed 21 days certified course for bakery course online for the winners. We also have our outreach partners, that is the Indian Culinary Forum, the HPMF, Vika, and Salam Bombay Foundation. So we are extremely thankful to all our partners for having been with us, and they're still with us and spreading the word around. A little more about the Bakers Arena. Workshops is something that is our USP. We say that, yes, we are here to let you into different aspects and let you know about the different aspects of whatever we're doing. So we started at the Le Meridian Kitchen. We went to a baking school, and then we saw that how it is done at a large scale at Devyani International. And today we had another perspective to the entire bakery business. We started the ideation and brainstorming for this session way back in the month of January, February, around that time. And it was very heartening when Sumit told me about Mr. Abhiru Biswas, Chef Abhiru Biswas. And that's when I started Googling for him, and every other day, it was spent in Googling, and till the day I actually met him or got on online, of course, and totally awestruck by all that Abhiru has been doing and has done. So I'm not going to keep this short. I'm going to go through all the details. Here's a formal introduction to Mr. Abhiru Biswas. Okay. So Abhiru Biswas has done his BSc in Hospitality and Administration, which is a 3-year diploma in hotel management from IHM Kolkata. He's a chef patisserie with several big names in the Indian market, associated with several big names in the Indian market, like Taj Group of Hotels, Hyatt International, Oberoi Hotels, and has been attached with them for more than 15 years now. He has worn numerous caps and shouldered various responsibilities. He's also worked as a chef trainer faculty with Taj Culinary School, IHM Aurangabad, for many years. He has also been instrumental in the pre-opening of Reliance Bakery. Then he has also worked as technical advisor with Barry Callebaut, a brand that I love, which is among the world's largest cocoa processors and chocolate manufacturers. So he was assigned this essential role. Chocolate, couverture chocolate was not very big around that time. And Abhiru is a person who made it big in the Indian market. So Callebaut has him to thank for it. So he's a chef entrepreneur and a consultant who helps in starting up bakeries, several culinary institutes, and Central Bakery business in Mumbai. He has consulted and shared knowledge to renowned bakery chains and a lot of chocolate retail chains. He is also an advisory and jury member in the Indian Culinary Association and for Skill India. He's also associated with many recognized bakery and chocolate projects to support the innovation products and set up of new chocolate and bakery businesses across the country. He's won several awards, the Best Dessert Chef Olympiad in 1998, New Delhi, Train the Trainer, Being the Boss, Switzerland, Big Chocolate Praline, Barry Callebaut Technical Advisor, Brazil, and Best Chef Food Sustainability 2019, Mumbai. Abhiru is also passionate about his art, and this is what sets him apart from the others. Not just his illustrious career and his notable achievements, it is his desire to put forward only the best that propels him towards excellence. He welcomes you to join him on his gastronomical quest to build a cornucopia of delectable pieces of art. Yes, Abhiru will also tell you about the other certifications, that is, as we take this forward. Many of us as bakers would have wondered, what do I do with my baking business? It's a hobby, but how can I take it forward? Many of us would have taken that forward and maybe abandoned that half the way, like I did perhaps. But today Abhiru is here to encourage and guide all those bakers who aspire to make it big. Over to you, Abhiru. Thank you for being with us today.
Wow, that was long, Abhiru. Before you kind of start,
no, I couldn't keep it short.
That was really nice, and I'm truly honored that you are conducting this session for us. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, Sumit, and thank you, Deepa. And I should say special thanks to Bakers Arena, who is really initiating this kind of activities and this kind of initiative for the young generations and upcoming entrepreneurs for come on board and to break the ice. And even the team members, even also all the sponsors, those who are really supporting this kind of event to come into an on live and as well as reach to each and every household. I would say right now with an hospitality. So hospitality begins at home. So that's why I would say that from to home, now it is there. So thanks again, a great thanks to the Indian Culinary Forum as well, who has really put the initiative into this part on those many big chefs, those who are my mentors before, they were also associated with here. And I would like to give an thanks and as well as respect to all the chefs, those who are connected to this Bakers Arena. So I'm honored that I got an opportunity to just share my knowledge. I'm not the expert. I'm still learning. I'm a learner in this part. And I would like to share my own experience. It is not that only a book language which I'm going to share you, my entrepreneurial experience and my professional experience on few minutes. If anyone has any queries or any question, I'm sure Deepa would take the mentor out of on those parts. Thanks.
Thank you.
So the topic today is, we have selected the topic is regarding the chocolate. I know the chocolate is very happy. So in many ads, many advertisements and many places you see that thoda meetha ho jaye. So the day starts with the thoda meetha ho jaye. Everybody takes that in India, in everywhere people say that, yes, we Indians are very proud of to be in a sweet tooth. And we are really been known for a sweet tooth rather than anybody else into the world. We Indians love to have a sweet with any kind of a different taste. And we are always open mind to innovate and as well as initiate into the product. So that is a reason today All Indian Culinary Forum and All Indian chefs are into the highest peak of the altitude in culinary world. So I'm just a small chef out there, and I would like to gain more knowledge from everyone. But today, as in a cocoa, so I'm starting off today's with everybody talk about today at home, and everyone is start thinking of that let's do something, whether that person is working into a multinational company or whether a person is studying at the school, or maybe a person who is just as a house CEO. I would say, I never say that housewife or that, I would say they are the house CEOs. Yes, to maintain and complete the organization at home is a CEO project. So it's without doing any degrees from any big IIMs and all, they are handling the homes. And then after that, they starting from finance to marketing to everything, they do it at home. So they are the women, those who even would like to start their entrepreneurial business. It's a very short sharing. I again and again say, first I would like to share, I think Sumit, should I start my knowledge to start right now?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I would request all the participants to stay on mute, and you can ask your questions once we have Bhiru finishing with this session. Yeah.
Thank you, Deepa, and thank you, Sumit. And let's, I'm just, before I see every day, everybody is busy with some slide presentation. Even maybe a boss send a slide presentation, or maybe a school teacher asks that, why not you make an PPT and share it. But today in a virtual mode, that is one of the important area. And live demonstration is always good, that when we were always doing the live demonstration. That certainly we will do it later. And Bakers Arena is doing it every day sessions, every week. I see that last couple of weeks that they are organizing and live session in different sections. But I have requested that let's first the knowledge about the chocolate, because what we want to start first, that is more important. I wish that when I want to start a business, I want to know that what kind of business I would like to do, whether a garment or whether it's a food. And if it is a food, what kind of food I want to do it. So from that part, the knowledge is very important, and that knowledge I'm going to share it to you today. So the chocolate. So I just shared the screen out here for few slides. Please don't take it as other slides. I'm sure the slides are Is it the slides are sorry. Is it slides are visible?
Chef, you need to share the...
Yes, I'm sharing it. Now, please let me know, is it fine? Because I'm not a slide chef. I am just a chef who is into a table every day, but I'm trying to get into the slide because today everybody is into a virtual mode. So I'm just trying to do that, but please confirm me whether you can see the slides or not.
Yes, we can see your screen.
You can see the screen.
Yeah.
Okay, I just ask everyone that I am just asking my team members to guide me out whether I'm right or wrong. That is a reason, because that is one of the reasons that if I'm talking, then after that, if you can't see, then it would be very difficult for everyone to. Now, how I can make my screen visible, what I'm showing it to others.
So you're already there, Bhiru.
Is it the first slide is there?
No, you have the screen is on. There is a tiny PPT icon down there. I think you need to click on that.
I need to
At the
click on
bottom?
that.
Yeah.
How I can do my entire.
Sometimes with Zoom, it becomes a problem, but you can click on that
It's
PPT.
on a Zoom. I'm getting a problem, but just a second. Just give me for a minute. I just make all the things ready. Yes. How to make the entire screen to be on my part? I cannot see the entire screen. Can I just stop it and then again?
Yeah, you can do that. Yeah.
You need to go into the screen share and select that particular PPT.
Yes, I am doing this.
You can keep the PPT open first and then you can go select that.
Okay, open in my desktop.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'll do that. See, I really apologize for this kind of disturbances because yes, I'm just going into that, and then after that, yes. So I go into a slide presentation. Yes, and can you see?
Did you do share screen? Share?
Okay, I'll do the share screen.
Yeah.
Now.
Then select your window which you want to present. You can either select a window.
Yes. Now you can see this.
Yes. We're good now.
Yeah. And no worries. No worries at all. We all go through this all the time.
Yeah.
No, I'm not at all. I am a chef by profession, and for those reasons, I really apologize for that. But still,
you don't have to.
I'm trying to do it so that people can easily. I know there is the students or maybe the other people, they are quite efficient on those, but I'm just okay. Let's begin for this cocoa tree. Yes, today the chocolate day. Just a week on 7th, I think the chocolate day we all celebrated. Everybody wish you all the chocolate. Every day is a chocolate day for me. I'm sure you also make it. So chocolate comes from where? The chocolate comes from a cocoa. So where is a cocoa? This is a cocoa plant. This is a cocoa tree which height is around 7 to 8 feet of height, the cocoa tree. Usually cocoa trees are grown under the shade of a big trees, which big trees the jackfruit, berries, different kind of things. They call it as a cocoa forest. Under those shades of the trees, this cocoa trees is planted, where you can see a person who is just plugging off this cocoa pod from the cocoa tree. And the cocoa means what is Theobroma, the food of God. Yes, it is a food of God. We call it as the food of the God. So food of the God is here to the Theobroma. From there, this cocoa pod is there. And this cocoa pod is in one tree. This cocoa pod is grown, and 2 times in a year. It is we call it as the fruit come up within 2 times in a year. So one is in August and another is your November, so to December time. So one of the parent, most of the cocoa plantation, where it is grown, cocoa is not grown in into what we call it as Europe, Switzerland, Belgium, or anywhere. People talk about that, oh, Belgian chocolate is good. We talk about it that Switzerland chocolate is good. It is not that. You can make your chocolate at home in India and you can make the better chocolate than Belgian or Swiss chocolate, because Indian today people are doing that also. So it is the cocoa grown into a 20-degree equatorial place, equatorial centigrade. So which is the Ecuador? We know that's 20-degree up and down. So where is those? This is in Africa comes there, where the temperature of the place should not be more and above of too hot or too humid. It has to be a regulated temperature, like Africa. So South Africa is one of the place where the 70% of the cocoa pod has been grown. Everybody talk about that Ghana, everyone talk about those places because that is situated there and the plantation is there. And in Asia Pacific is also there, which is in Indonesia, Malaysia, and even a part of like Sri Lanka, and in India is Kerala or maybe a Tamil Nadu, some of the part. Because the place has to be into a forest and those shade of the trees, then only cocoa, the direct sun rays should not attack the cocoa plant. So that is a reason. And the cocoa plant usually age for around 40 to 60 years, one cocoa tree. So you can imagine how many types of fruits you can get on those. How does a cocoa pod look like? So the cocoa pod look like this. It's look like a papaya. I think today people see that it's a kind of that big as papaya. And this papayas are look like this. Into this papaya kind of look like those pumpkin or papaya or like those. This is look like into a plant. And then from there it is. Okay. Now, when you cut the cocoa pod, you find out the seeds. These are the seeds out there, which is called as a cocoa seeds, cocoa beans. And those cocoa beans has been there, which is one cocoa pod contains 60 to 80 numbers of cocoa seeds. That is your cocoa beans. So after cutting those, you can see now this is a cocoa bean, which is cocoa beans or maybe a cocoa seeds, kept it into the plant under the on the you can see banana leaf on those, and they just spread it out. The farmers does this, and from this is the fermentation period, 7 days of fermentation on this part. And like everyone talk about why it is needed, the fermentation needed because unless and until you ferment, the aroma and the flavor of the cocoa beans you cannot extract from there. The picture is from the Brazil. I'm sure it is in 2013 when I was in Brazil, and that period of time, this cocoa from the Brazil plantation. It's a huge plantations areas where those you can see the under the banana leaf, and then they kept it there, and then after 7 days they just take out the seeds, and then it goes for the sun drying process. On a sun drying process on a bamboo shoots, they keep this cocoa beans and then they dry it there. After drying, this been stacked into a jute racks or maybe any kind of packaging system, and then this beans been shipped to places called as Europe and Switzerland, or maybe a Belgium, or maybe in Germany, or maybe to India. So it is not that Belgium, Switzerland, and Europe can make a good chocolate. It is that what is a cocoa bean you are getting it, and how you are processing it, and in which process you are doing it. The good the cocoa beans are there, the better the cocoa mass you get it, and the cocoa product you finally find out from that place. So it is not, I would say again, because everyone gets scared that, oh, if I don't buy this chocolate, then I cannot make a good chocolate. No, it is only depend on the no branding and on anything. You can make your own brand and make your own selling of chocolate brand. So this cocoa beans, then this cocoa beans go to the factory, and when it goes into the factory, what does it comes from the cocoa beans? This cocoa beans been made with an powdered form in a crusher or maybe a paster, all those bone meal or maybe those kind of thing crushers, they make the paste kind of thing, which is called as cocoa mass. And that cocoa mass then go into the hydraulic process is called as a, from where the cocoa cake is been developed and the cocoa butter is extracted. So you can see that after you make the paste, like you see is the similar as a coconut. You take the coconut, just take it out, and how the oil comes out and the coconut pulp is on the other side. Similarly, cocoa beans is also the things which they take it into a crusher, then they crush it, then they conch it, then they after that crushing, they make the cocoa cake, and then those cocoa cake is go into the another hydraulic pressure where the cocoa is suppressed and the cocoa butter is extracted from there. And cocoa butter, when this extract from there, there is a cocoa cake or a cocoa mass is there. And that cocoa mass and cocoa butter is two different ingredients. So when this two ingredient is different, then from those cocoa cake, which is a less of cocoa butter, the cocoa powder comes from there. That's why cocoa powder contain low percentage of cocoa butter. Cocoa powder contain low percentage of cocoa butter. So those are from the cocoa powder goes. Then those cocoa mass and the cocoa liquor, cocoa butter, mix it together, and then the ingredient in a dark chocolate, we use a sugar because we cannot eat a direct cocoa mass. So we add sugar, one of the ingredient, then another ingredient is lecithin, soya lecithin or anything, or maybe a vanilla. Vanilla, why? Because there is an out smell which want to stop. When we make some caramel custard, when we make some baking cake and all, we put them vanilla onto that. Why? The outside smell should not come into that, and it gives a good aroma. So this all are the 5 ingredients. So make a dark chocolate. Now, what is a dark chocolate made with? Dark chocolate made with cocoa mass, cocoa butter, then after that sugar is for sweetening, and your soya lecithin, and the finally is we call it as vanilla beans or maybe vanilla. So these are the 5 ingredient to make a dark chocolate. So those who are lactose or maybe a milk, those issues are there, even those people can have dark chocolate at any minutes of time, because it contains minimum to minimum percentage of any other milk fat. Usually dark chocolate do not contain any kind of milk solids there, but in milk chocolate, they add above with the dark chocolate all ingredient, the milk powder or maybe whey milk powder that inside there. Then they make the milk chocolate. And white chocolate is what, where we always say that cocoa cake is extracted from there, the cocoa mass which are adding it. Apart from that, cocoa butter, sugar, milk solids, vanilla and lecithin makes a white chocolate. So this is how a chocolate been made. I'm sure this all knowledge is usually in chocolate classes. When I was into academy, I say that the first academy in Asia Pacific I was really honored that I have made that academy, even one in Mumbai and Singapore and one in Shanghai, all those places. So that was a time when I was talking about those. The chocolate takes a minimum 1 week classes on those. So right now in few minutes, I just wanted you people to understand about the chocolate, because what I feel is that if you don't feel the subject, then you cannot make anything. It is a feeling, you have to make it understand. So this understanding, if you have, you can say that I at least know that where from the chocolate comes. So now when all this part comes into on our board, so we can start a chocolate. So you get a different kind of blocks at your home. So we get sometime a chocolate. Now, one important things which we need to understand, that all chocolates are not couverture chocolate. All couverture chocolates are chocolate. All couverture chocolates are chocolate. Why? Because couverture, when we say it should contain, that chocolate should contain 31% of cocoa butter according to European legislation. So it is like an sparkling wine and champagne, right? So because why I'm giving you example, because all sparkling wines are not champagne, but all champagnes are sparkling wine. So on those process, same, all couvertures are considered as chocolate, but all chocolates are not considered as an couverture. So when you get a chocolate bar, if it is minimum 31% of cocoa butter is there into that chocolate, then only you can say couverture chocolate. Any company, any brand, anybody, nobody can say that this is a couverture chocolate. Third thing is that this couverture chocolate and the chocolate is a different thing rather than what we get most of the time into a market which contains a vegetable fat. Instead of cocoa butter, if there is a vegetable fat is there, then it is considered as compound. But I'm today here to talk only about the chocolate. I'm not here to talk about the compound. See, everybody has their own life. Compound is also their own life and also their own application. And chocolate is also have their own applications. So nobody is good and nobody is bad like that, but chocolate is good for health because it contains polyphenol. So with those is a very important and very science kind of knowledge into that they say that it is good for teeth. Sometimes doctor says, I'm just opening a challenge into that. If you have a chocolate, the teeth will go back. No, sorry. The chocolate contain those kind of polyphenol, so it never destroy your teeth. Only the things which is your milk solid and the sugar. And most of the time in third world countries, we eat the compound that makes our teeth bad because the sugar stays back out there, but not the chocolate or not the cocoa powder or maybe a cocoa butter. The cocoa butter is used for different purposes. There are so many people, those who are from pharmaceutical, they know they can use cocoa butter for the pharmaceutical use, for the cosmetic use, even for the food purposes. So cocoa butter has their own nutritional value, so which is good for health. Now, I'm not talking more onto that part. Let's talk about the chocolate fluidity and the things. Then when we get the chocolate, we melt it. Just melt those block bars, what you get. Then this consistency of the chocolate has to be a pouring consistency. It should not be a dripping consistency. So the chocolate, when you are melting it, it has to be a pouring consistency. And about to the pouring consistency, you can consider what is a percentage of cocoa butter is there. If the cocoa butter is more and the cocoa mass is more, then only the chocolate is expensive. If there is no less of cocoa butter and less of cocoa mass, the chocolate cannot be so expensive. Now, why I'm talking to you all this chocolate, I just wanted to say that how you melt a chocolate at home. You just take the chocolate, cut it into small pieces. If you have a block of bar, put it into a bowl, take it into a micro oven, put it for 10 seconds, then take it out. Just with the spatula, do the movement, then again take it out. Then after movement, again you put it for 20 seconds. You can see when all the granulates of the chocolates get melted, your chocolate is already melted. This is called as we call it as micro oven tempering, or not tempering, is called as pre-crystallization. Many people into the chocolate field are talking about tempering. Tempering is not at all a technical language for those. It has to be a pre-crystallized. Why? Because in chocolate, in any solids, if you go into, and there are so many chemistry students are there, the crystals are there. What we are doing, we are breaking all the crystals and bringing back into one good crystals. And one good crystals makes a good chocolate, shiny and hard chocolate onto your surface. So that's why we call it as never and ever, if any chef or maybe any technical person tempering all those, that is not. It is called as just a pre-crystallization. You get a hard chocolate, you melt it, and then you again put it into the refrigeration for hardening it. And when it gets hardened, you take it out from the mold and you get a good chocolate. So if you do a good pre-crystallization, what are the three important factors you get it? First, the sheen of the chocolate. The sheen of the chocolate gives you the proper pre-crystallization, gives the result. Second, the hardness. And the third is shrinkage. If it is not shrink, then how you will take it out from the mold? So that's why you see most of the time people take the mold and just banging on the table and just like, and it's a chocolate, baby. You cannot bang it like that way. Chocolate is just take it onto your hand and just help yourself to mold and you get the chocolate melted. Demold from the mold. So that is where there. So this is called as even we do it, I'm not going to explain you that much. This is onto a tempering machine or maybe melting machine. You can do the pre-crystallization method as well. Usually when all the chocolate is melted, you must observe that the temperature should be 45 degrees centigrade. And the dark chocolate working temperature is 32 and 30 degrees for milk and white chocolate. So white chocolate is never be a couverture chocolate because it's always contained below 31 degree cocoa butter into that. Now, You see, this is called tabletop tempering. You see that most of the time chefs put it into a table and just walking. So now when you do a tabletop tempering, first you put the chocolate into a melter, you melt it, cover it on with the lid, the 45-degree temperature, entire chocolate for 2-3 hours, 4 hours, whatever the maximum time take it. Then take out that chocolate in a room temperature. Now, another wrong sentences, because why I am here, I would like to say that please don't say room temperature. Later on, can you tell me, I stay in Mumbai, someone is staying in Himachal, someone is staying in Jammu Kashmir, and someone is in, I say Chennai. Everybody's room temperature is different. So what is room temperature? No, sorry. And this is the word when the Europeans say about it, the reason is that entire Europe room temperature is 18 to 20. So they say that, oh, room temperature. So I must say that wrong sentence. It has to be 18 to 20 degree where you are working your chocolate. So your room has to be 18 to 20 degree AC generated where the chocolate has to be start working it. So your marble station, why we take it? Because it is a very smooth surface where you can move your chocolate. So then you see with the palette knife, we do the movement, and when from 45, we bring down the temperature to 30 to 27. How we will know? Through an infrared. I would not say till when you become an expert, then only through consistency you can know, but through an infrared, you just check 27 degree. After 27, then again take a blower and reheat, or you put it into that same melter and put it back and just do the stirring, the movement. So 3 things are important: temperature, movement, and time. These 3 things make the pre-crystallization of chocolate. I know I was very fast. I was just like a boom, 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 I'm going. But the thing is that the time is also shortage, because in 45 minutes I need to, this class usually happens to me for 5 days, 7 days. So it's very difficult to me to make you understand on those. So now when you see all this chocolate is melted and been into the place, everybody say that, oh, I'm right. So if your chocolate, take a sample before you start working with the mold. Take a sample. How? Just take a palette knife, dip it into that and keep it into your 18 to 20 degrees centigrade in 1 minute to 2 minutes. If the entire chocolate get hardened onto your palette knife and you see that the sheen also there and everything is ready, then only you can start pouring into your mold. Otherwise not. If you see it is taking too long time of cooling is also not good, too short time of cooling is also not good. So it is very important to take a sample. Even today as well, after working 26 years, I still today, whenever I work, I always take my samples ready. Right? So what you see, the crystals to bad crystals, that is a big chapter. I'm not talking. This is the part where we can go. Now, what are the, now come into the business part, today's topic again. So everybody understood that from, I took it around to a plantations to and chocolate melting. So people talk about that bean to bar. So I am coming back into the bean to bar only, giving you the knowledge. But sometimes people get stopped. Some students are there. I say that maybe at 11th class student, or maybe where the funding will come. My papa will give me funding for 20 lakhs rupees or 2 lakhs rupees. No, you don't need it. From your home itself, you can start. I'm sure most of the homes today have a micro oven. I'm sure. The wooden spoon or a spatula spoon. If you have a wooden spoon, it is good, or maybe a silicone spatula spoon. Most of the, I see today, the domestic women, they go to the malls and they go to the women, they go and buy a nice spatula spoon from the malls as well. Take a scraper, which look like a white scraper, to work it out on those, or maybe a palette knife. Polycarbonate mold, yes. Now, most of the time people say that polycarbonate mold is important. I say yes. If you are making it into a plastic mold, it is not good to make the chocolate on that mold. I always recommend, as an always, to keep your standard. Only one good investment is a mold. Buy a good, nice polycarbonate mold, because it will last for your entire generation, because it doesn't break unless and until you take it and just put a hammer on top of it. That is not my responsibility, but take a nice polycarbonate mold, choose your own selections, and you do it. Then the domestic freezer. I know everybody have a domestic refrigeration at home. Plastic storing boxes. Keep the plastic storing boxes with you. So that after the chocolate come out, you should store it into that small plastic lid boxes. You get it in the market many times. The rectangular square, those plastic boxes look like. Micro-friendly bowls. Yes, bowls are there, but use a micro-friendly because you are going to put the chocolate melt inside the micro oven. So that is more important. Then is your infrared thermometer. Infrared thermometer is today, after this COVID, every malls to every places, people just go, you have to take your hand first. They just look at that, how much is your body temperature. Do you know what is your body temperature? If you say, if it is in a Fahrenheit, 98 is a regular body temperature. And if your body temperature is, suppose in centigrade, is 34. If it is 38, then you got a COVID or maybe a fever. That is what we call it as. I'm sorry. So no one should have all those. But that is a thermometer. If you keep it at home, it is good for you as well. So that is a body temperature. And then micro-friendly bowls, you keep it there. Measuring scale, everyone in this 150 rupees, I think from Amazon, you can buy a very small 2 kg, maximum 1 kg or 2 kg micro measuring scale. Hot gun. Now you don't need to buy, every moms has the hot gun for the hair to make the dry or dryer, we call it as. That kind of hot guns, you buy it. Then you have a gas range at home, you have a saucepan at home, you have a whisk at home, which you do every day morning omelets with that, and the spoons. So I'm not asking you to invest any money to start your business. Yes, that is where I am meant for today. I want our Indian entrepreneurs should come up with chocolate business, because in 2007, when I was first talking about chocolate, I still remember there are only countable people, those who are used to make chocolate, and not even chocolate. They used to work with a compound, and they considered as I'm the best chocolatier in India. Or maybe you go to the Belgium or France, every household, they are making chocolate. That is their sweet dishes. It's like Hamari Indian mithai. So you people, if you want to start your own chocolate business, nothing is wrong into that. You can become a good entrepreneur tomorrow. Now, for all these things, I'm sure there are some other factors. This is my technical part, which I'm talking about. Heavy equipments. If this all of the heavy equipments, I'm just giving you an example. This is, I'm actually, my company owns a chocolate vault on those. So equipment, which those machines I have, I'm just getting it into those. So you got all those spray guns. If you need it, you buy it. The weighing machine, it's just for your looking like, you see, this is called as an air gun. So which you see, this is an air gun. I'm not talking about a very heavy air gun also. This is a spray. You don't need it. Spray right now. Just make a basic chocolate. This is a tabletop guitar cutter. This is a melter. You want to buy, otherwise you are doing it in micro oven, you can do it. This is the second stage, but the investment is here around 10,000 rupees on everything. 10 to 20,000 rupees in this. So that is the reason I want to say this is called as polycarbonate mold. You see in the market, the polycarbonate mold look like this, which is a hard and steady. So I would like to show you this thing. And this is a spatula or a palette knife, yellow color, you see. Now, one more important, as today you are into there, you can see in the market, there are some red and some blue. Red means that it can go into a micro oven or can resist the heat. And if it is, sometimes you take the spatula and you put it onto your, what do you call, the pan, you see your spatula is rubber is melting, because that is not a heat resistant. So when it is a red in color, then only there's two types. This is not heat resistant, but this is heat resistant. This is so many people don't know. They take everything into the oven. अरे शेफ को देखा मैंने डाल दिया, मैं भी डाल देता हूँ. डालने के बाद जब निकलता है तो चॉकलेट के साथ उसका स्पैचुला भी मेल्ट होके चॉकलेट के अंदर रहता है. So it is a knowledge. Today we need to do the knowledge. Yes, I cannot say that I know. I also learned one day like you. Some chefs had taught me. I used to travel a lot. So when I'm traveling, I'm learning on those parts. So this is called as decanter or maybe a funnel kind of thing. This you don't need it later on. And pastry bags or maybe a piping bag, everyone keeps it at home today. Or if you don't keep it, you just use some butter paper and make your own cone. So you don't need to invest so much of money on those. So I made my chocolate. I'm sure with all this business of investment of whatever you have your home, you can make all this chocolate. This is no internet blogging or anything. It is from my first business when I started off my own chocolate. And this is into a box. If you don't have cavity, also don't use a plastic cavity. I would say it's not food grade, you cannot. Make a very nice box from your market. Buy some small boxes from the market. Put your chocolates nicely, very gently, and just present it to the people. And everybody will love it, your chocolate, I'm telling you. And again, I would say, it's not that today, even anywhere, that India cannot make the best chocolate. India can make the best chocolate, not the Belgian or not maybe the Switzerland or maybe any European. Only the thing is that you need to use a chocolate. Now, my consideration, sometimes we say that, okay, the duty-free chocolate is so good, but our Indian chocolate, same brand, is not good. I say in duty-free, they sell the chocolate because whenever they in the duty-free shop, if it is written chocolate, they sell chocolate, that is cocoa butter. And when we eat outside, the dark and sweet in taste, we get it that compound. And compound is vegetable fat. And vegetable fat melts at 40 degree. And chocolate, the cocoa butter melts at 32 degree. So whenever you eat chocolate, your body temperature is 34. And when you put the chocolate into your palate, 32 degree and 32 degree chocolate, because your body temperature higher than the cocoa product what you are, so it gives you the cooling effect. It is not that any menthol or any kind of things product is added into the chocolate. It is just a cocoa butter work into that and which melt onto your palate, and you get fantasized with the chocolate. And if you're eating a compound which is a vegetable fat, you need to rub. It's a waxy texture. You taste, stay back onto your palate, and you say, oh, it's not good. So that is called as a chocolate. So you can make bar chocolate. Just buy some boxes in weddings and all, make some bars and give to your friends. Make your own bars. 30 grams of bar. You want to make it little colored, you can use an oil-based color, no other base color, or maybe a flavor you can add. You just make a rose flavor or anything and make the chocolate out of it. This is a chocolate truffle, that round center truffles. You want to make it a round or make a big bar and then take a knife, you cut it with those. One with the cocoa powder, another with icing sugar. Just coat it and sample it to everybody. You don't need a big machines and all. Who says you need a big machines? You make some good cups, then put some nice rasmalai on that. On top of it, some raspberries, some crystal raspberries, and give it to your guest. So chocolate raspberry, you are serving rasmalai. So that is from your home. Your concept is need to come from your head. You can, nobody stops you. No one. I'm telling you, one day people talk about, there is so many talk about praline, praline, praline. I went to Belgium, I went to Brussels, I went to all the shops out there. What is those? That is our Kaju Katri. That is our Kaju Katri. So we can make those good Kaju Katri at home as well, and then make it as a good nice praline out here. Take a almond and just do it, caramelize and make it. हम लोग चिक्की बनाते हैं कितने अच्छी तरह. उसको ही chocolate से coat कर सकते हैं. So this, all the things are their ideas. This is a heart shape for Valentine Day. I'm sure every Valentine will be happy if they get a good, nice heart piece of chocolate from the Valentine. So you make your occasion at your home. So then you get those chocolate. This is, you can make from this equipment, you make a cake at your home. This is not made in any big factory. This is, I started off Bombay Bakery Wala in 2015. And from my small production unit, I done it. You make your own sponge and make a nice ganache and just make your simple chocolate cake. You don't need to pick up so many butterflies and red fishes and all those things. Who will eat those sugar paste and all? Today, if you give it to me, you will make a cricket ground on top of the cake, which is made with a gum paste. I will eat. You throw it off. Why you are paying for that? You pay for this. You pay for a chocolate. You make your own plain simple chocolate, write it down, happy birthday. Take a brownie and put a chocolate ganache on top of it and write it down for your parents. Happy birthday, parents. And everybody will enjoy it. So this is all ideas about the entrepreneur. So we say that, I would not say thanks, but you can be a master chef one day. I'm sure about it. You can be a master chef one day. My generations, now your generations are coming up. I'm really happy to see people taking India flag and going abroad in a chocolate forum and talking out there, which I was expecting in till 2015. No Indians used to go in Paris or Salon de Chocolat take the Indian flag. आप लोग देखते हो ना वर्ल्ड कप में फ्लैग हिला रहा है, वर्ल्ड चॉकलेट सब कुछ में भी हमारे इंडियंस कम जाते थे. That was a time only myself as an Indian, a dark person sitting down in corner, and those all everybody is celebrating and we are not doing. Why? We know everything. We have the talent. You have everything. And so one day, if your vision is there, you can take the flag of India and make your own chocolate at your place and then go for a chocolate masters. To that, we always do all those things for you all. I just share it that before the pandemic, the best visit which I just before the pandemic, the world largest cruise line, the world luxurious cruise line, Seabourn, it is an US base. I was there as a celebrity chef, and with all foreigners, I was an Indian who is teaching all the foreigners how to make a Indian chocolate. What is Indian chocolate? You make your own rasmalai, not rasmalais. I made a malpuas and then coated with the chocolate. And the rabdi, I made it, and inside there I put the chocolate. So the the foreigners, they loved it. They loved it. So I was cruising it. So while cruising, it was a demonstration session for everyone. And maybe starting from England to everywhere, from US, all the customers were there. They were really happy with that. So I say that myself, whatever I learned, I just try to deliver, and you also do it. If you share to others, your knowledge will grow. Thank you very much. I hope this is what I have into this part to talk about. Now it's a part, you can see my face. Deepa, I have done with my parts. Now your part is there. So I took a tour in 26 minutes. I took them to South Africa or maybe Brazil, and then after that took them a world tour and landed in India. So now it's your turn.
It's not my turn. We have quite a few questions over here. So the very first question for you is, can we make chocolate in silicone molds?
We can make chocolates in silicone. Yes, you can make it in silicone molds, but it is very fragile. So always polycarbonate is better.
Because the cost kind of adds up.
Yeah, the cost kind of thing. But I don't know. Silicone mold would cost you maybe 100 rupees, 150 rupees. This mold would cost you 800 rupees. Yes, you can start with a plastic mold or a silicone mold also.
Both are okay. Suppose I use a plastic mold. So how many times can I use that?
It depends on how careful you are. Okay. If you take the plastic mold and put it into your dishwasher machine, you cannot use a second time.
Yeah.
Okay.
And how about polycarbonate? Does it go into this?
Polycarbonate does not. It can use it for a long time.
Okay. So, Abhiru, one question that every home baker has is how to scale my business.
How to scale the business?
Yeah. So half of us abandon it half the way because we see that the initial earnings are very, very pathetic as compared to the effort that we put into baking or say even into chocolate. And yes, you talked about the room temperature. So we don't have the room temperature out here. So my AC cost also gets added to the chocolate that I make. Sweating of the chocolate and maybe what do you call blossoming or flowering? That's something that happens. So how do I deal with all these things, or whether it's baking or whether it's chocolate making? It's a passion for me, okay? But how do I convert it into a business, considering that I already got some chocolate molds, I've got something to melt, and I've got my equipment in place. So what am I going to do with that?
Okay, if you are doing it now, coming into the part as we are into a third world country and humid country and all those temperature country, most of the time we use a compound to make the chocolate. The compound to use those molds and all. So you can use your compound and you don't need it the AC rooms that time. But your pre-crystallization need to be done. The temperature you reheat into a micro oven and then cool it down, and then slowly at the temperature, if you don't have even the air gun also, you just put your finger on the back and you feel that the temperature of the chocolate should not hurt your finger, and it should be your finger temperature, and that temperature is same. So you take that, put it into the mold, take the refrigeration open and take that into a refrigeration inside the mold. After when it get refrigerated for a few minutes, then you take it out and then demold it.
Okay.
So you don't need a AC, you don't, that is a compound. And when you are selling chocolate, your room temperature where you are working need to have that. See, today I'm here to talk about chocolate. Now, if you are into a compound, then in India, so many people doing this business, you go to your kitchen and work it into a kitchen, make your molding part, and then you go. There is nothing on those parts. Nothing is going to that part. So you can use it on those areas very nicely.
But then again, it's compound and it's not chocolate.
It's not chocolate.
Chocolate, yeah. That's what I'm trying to tell.
And now, when your entire cost is going high and people are selling chocolate, now today I am telling you one reason. When you are buying a duty-free, one of the chocolate bar from the duty-free shop, chocolate bar, that cost you a €2, or maybe I say talk about a brand called as Godiva. You go to the Godiva shop or maybe Leonidas shop, you buy a chocolate, you pay for €2 for one chocolate. €2 means 80 to 160 rupees per chocolate. Am I correct? But today in India, you can make the same chocolate, but you can sell it the same chocolate in 30, I say 40 rupees. Same chocolate. If you are making a compound, then you have to be sell it on 10 rupees or 7 rupees.
Yeah.
So that you need to make understand the customer that this is the chocolate and this is a compound. So if you want chocolate, you have to pay for it. And if you are paying for the vegetable fat, you pay for vegetable fat. I'm ready. I'm going to do with this. So on a business, you always consider what the customer wanted. It's not that I wanted.
Okay. Thank you so much. Here we have another question. Does dark chocolate lower the risk of heart diseases, and how?
I didn't get you.
Does chocolate lower the risk of heart diseases, and how? I think this question shouldn't be asked to you. Lowering of heart disease.
See, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a doctor, but I would say this much. I still now every day eats minimum 100 grams of cocoa butter chocolate. That is a chocolate. I'm not saying that I'm the healthy person, I'm the most fittest person in the world, or I would say that it is good. It helps for your bringing on those parts. Vegetable fat, because you see, your body temperature is 34, and whatever you eat above 34 is your bad to your health. And whatever you eat below 34, which melts and through an intestine, is just clear it off. It is good for your health. It doesn't stay on your body. Simple language.
Which brand of cocoa beans should be used?
I'm not here with any brands. So I'm not talking about.
You're not endorsing any of them.
Okay. Yes, I'm endorsing with that. The good cocoa beans, you get it even from India also. There is a very huge big brand. Those who are using Indian crops, Indian beans, people say that, oh, this is a very European brand. You know, I just checked yesterday that India started exporting cocoa beans also. So in India also, there are very good crops are growing, and as well as from Ghana or maybe Ghana beans is very good. You need to, now today the farmers are started of growing a good beans out here as well. Usually from the time of, I would say that India was one of the country who used to be one of the pioneer in cocoa beans growing. But because of the farmers not being paid that much, and the Britishers came, they just cut all those things from there, and they transferred their entire farming from cocoa beans to something else. I visited 2-3 places. Even in Pollachi district, I saw a very nice cocoa farming is there. In Tamil Nadu, they are there. In Kerala, they are there. Very nice cocoa farming, very good Criollo beans are there. India is good at that. That's why today, yes, I work with many company. I have a good respect for them, very good respect for them, but it is not that India cannot do it. India can today. Earlier, India has only one chocolate factory, but today, if you calculate in 2019, in 2021, we have more than 10 to 12 chocolate factories, big companies, chocolate factories. How it's possible? I'm not taking any brand. So that's why, please don't evaluate that. Take the beans, evaluate yourself. That is your sensibility. Take the beans, and every beans have written, Criollo is the best beans, Tirantero and Forastero. There are 3 quality beans. So if you are getting a Criollo beans are expensive and good. So you take that. And just see that there should not be any seeds. This sorry, not seeds, you call it the insects. Nice, glossy in texture. Buy those kind of things, then break it, then smell it. Then you sense of that which is a good beans for your chocolate.
Chef, we have a question. Yeah, even I had this question. We are used to say white, dark, milk chocolate variants, but what about the new ones like gold and ruby? How do we melt them?
Everything melted at the same way.
Yeah,
There is no chocolate is melting at a different angle. Ruby is one of the product which came from Barry Callebaut. It is a fruit-based chocolate, and the tempering process or a pre-crystallization process is same. Now, if it is become a too thickened because of the moisture added out on those, so that's why it is when you're putting it into sometimes you put it into a melter, you don't find out those. So it's like milk powder. You keep it into a jar in this all season, the Barsat wale season pe, you find out your milk powder becoming what?
Hardening.
What is that? The moisture absorbs. So then that period of time, you have to take care about it, chocolate.
Where can we get cocoa butter from? That's something that's
different companies are selling cocoa butter.
What causes white coating on chocolate when I do demolding of chocolate?
That is called as sugar bloom. It is not. It is just because of the crystals, bad crystals. Your pre-crystallization is not at right temperature, and your chocolate, when you are using it, it is too hot in temperature.
Okay. So here we come to the most vital question. Sir, could you please give us some advice on how to scale a small home baking business? So you were going to talk about the Baker's Formula. I think, Abhiru, this is the right time to talk about
it.
The
Baker's Formula is your bakery business. Yes, that is also a part. I can share, see my Facebook page and my Insta page, and everywhere I have shared this. Just if you go Abhiru Chef or maybe Chef Abhiru, and then after that on those Abhiru Vishwas and Facebook page, or maybe Chef AB Hospitality, every week I share the ingredient knowledge. So just go into that, but still, as you have asked for, I'll just try to share the screen again. And Baker's Formula, no?
Yep.
So I need to open, right? 1 minute. Baker's Formula. Okay. Is it in the screen? Deepa, is it in the screen?
No, we still have your, the home screen, I would say, over there.
Okay. So just
Abhiru, if you can even say it out, I think everyone should be with there in case it's difficult for you.
I am no, it's not difficult to me. People would understand only when the formula can see that.
Yeah.
Okay, just give me a minute.
Yeah,
I'll
sure.
just open that. Let me open in my desktop first. Yeah. Yes. And now I'll go out here, and then I'll say share my screen, and then I'll say this. So I'm done.
Yeah.
So you people have made me educated on computer as well. Thanks. Thanks to all of you.
Unintentionally though. Yeah.
So now you can see this is a Baker's Formula. So what is there? When you start your own bakery, When you start your own bakery, the baker's formula is what? We always script for our recipes. And when we go for any recipes in the books or anything, sometimes we use those recipes and we find it out that instead of bread, it becomes something else. So your formula is where we call it as a baker's formula. You can see the ingredient measurements are there. If you write it down, the main ingredient called as for flour, water, salt, and yeast. Then after that, this is 100% is your flour. Then we put it all question marks into that. And when we are talking about the measurements, this is how the decimals comes. This is a formula is there. So 55%, 2%, and 3%. So this is where you know that where are you going wrong? Is it a water is higher than the flour? If it is water is higher than the flour, then it will not become a dough. It will become something else. So if your salt is too high, you can come to know that, okay, 5.2% in 100 grams, 5.2% is good salt. And yeast. So it cannot be a salt is always, see that little higher than the yeast as well. And then the water is there. So this is how the baker's formula in discipline. So when you read this, you will find it out on those part that what is a baker's formula.
And sir, what about the necessary licenses that are required for a small home business?
Good question.
Yeah.
For a home baking, if you are really serious about it, today you need to enroll it. First thing is that everyone have a PAN card or those things. Through that, you can make your own GST because most of the people and even Indian constitution says that whenever you do any kind of commercial transaction, it has to be go through that. Your GST number you can open. It is not an expensive 1,000 rupees. You open it. And then after that, you have a FSSI license, which is if you are a small home baker, they don't ask for too many things. If your turnover is below 20 lakhs like that, your many complications are not there. You will get a temporary food licenses there. And apart from that, if it is any fire object, then only your fires are needed. If it is no fire, only on electrical purposes. So you don't need fire license or anything. And I don't think so anything needed for those. And if you keep this GST and the FSI ready, you can sell your product to online also. You can sell the product to the different, we call it as online centers like Big Baskets or maybe Nature's Baskets or anywhere. You can make your brand, or maybe you go to the airport, you see so many brands of chocolate are there. So many people making the brands of chocolate. They're just making a bar into a packet and just keeping it there. People buying it. So you can do it if you have this kind of part. And if you want to start your own business, just like an okay, chalo, for a charity purpose, then you don't need anything. Give it to your friend, pay, get some 5 rupees and 10 rupees and then come back and you're happy on that, then it is not different. And then you make your branding, then you keep it to your Insta page, Facebook page. All those marketing don't need to pay right now at the beginning. Everybody can, if I can operate a Facebook personally, I don't have person who is operating it. Whatever, you don't put any kind of abuse language or anything. You just say, I'm doing this, say whatever you are making a cupcake, you can show to people. Today, the people, honestly, for last 23 years, I made so many work. So I was just sitting down at home and talking to my family, and I never collected the pictures also. This is all Brazil picture of 2013. I got it from my Sony ka ek chota sa ye hota tha. I used to get on those, then after that transferred it into, then I got it all those time. But today people are, whatever they're doing, before they eat, go to the restaurant, they take the picture first, then they eat. So you people will also make the things, take the pictures, put it into the blog, talk about it, make a story about it. You're making a cupcake, you say that today the cupcake is made with my grandma's recipe. Wow, wow, wow. My grandma used to bake all those things. So you do all those story writing.
Yeah, Abhiru's story is one thing, but then there are hard facts. How do I price my cakes? What goes into pricing, right?
Okay. Now, I don't want to talk about it, but I would say that when you're pricing it, as a small entrepreneur, they need to think of three things. At what price your ingredient you bought. First, you make your recipe. On that recipe, the total ingredients, what you used, make the total calculation of that. 100 gram chocolate, 200 gram sugar, to a 300 gram cream. Just make it into an Excel sheet. And at what price from a Kirana shop you bought it, or maybe go to any mall and buying it, you find out the final price written out there. Just write it down. Make the total calculation. Suppose 100 rupees is my calculation of the ingredient. Right? So, making how many things? If it is making 10. So, out of 100 rupees, I made 10 product. So, that means one product cost you 10 rupees. 10 into 10 means 10 divided by 100 is equal to 10. So 10 rupees is your food cost. So if 10 rupees is your food cost, you need to add another 10 rupees into that. What is that 10 rupees? Inside that 10 rupees, you have to make your packaging cost. Your packaging should not be a 10 rupees. Your packaging should be inside that 10 rupees. 2 rupees a packaging, 2 rupees a electricity, 3 rupees is my labor cost, 4 rupees is my driver cost, or maybe 2 rupees. So that 10 rupees will be included into that. So 10 plus 10 is your 20. After doing 20, you will say that now margin has to be there, right? Okay, the maximum I would say that the margin is your 10 rupees. So that would be the maximum price you can do it as a 30 rupees. Now, you have to play between the selling price has to play between 20 and 30. Now, how you want to manipulate that maybe at 22. I want to sell it at 22. Your friend want to same product, sell it at 23 or 25. Or maybe someone selling at 18 rupees. So if someone is selling at 18 rupees, what you need to understand? You need to understand yourself that my overhead cost first, where is the cut cost? सबसे पहले हम लोग सोचते हैं cut cost. तो cost कहाँ पे मेरे को कम कर सकते हैं? Cost ऐसा नहीं कि you have to deteriorate the quality of the chocolate. You have to maximize your another cost. What is instead of 10 selling, you sell 100. तो your जो 2 रुपए लगता था वो घुमा फिरा के आपको 1 रुपए लगे तो आपको 20 रुपए से 19 रुपए आपने वहीं पे ही कमा लिया. So you can also start selling. So that is a way. Second way is that when you choose your ingredient, buy your ingredient, we go and say, "Arey ye manga do, ye manga do." Always look at that, the ingredient pricing. If one shop sells at 10 rupees, the same ingredient, the another shop is there who is selling at 8 rupees. Buy it from there. So if you don't खरीदने में यदि लाभ नहीं करोगे तो बेच के आप लाभ नहीं कर सकते. तो इसीलिए my formula is that is a very basic formula is 1:3. I hope I'm clear.
Yes. Chef, again, we are entering the festival phase in India, right? From now we are in July. So August to say till New Year or till even Sankranti, we will have festivals coming in.
Yes.
Should a new chocolatier or a baker start business now, or it's better to start during the slack time?
This is the best time. This is the best time. See, every day is a good time, good day for you. Maybe at today or maybe at tomorrow. One day you lose, you think that you lost already a one day. Simple.
We also have a question from Avril ma'am, and Avril ma'am is asking, which is the best sugar-free chocolate for diabetics?
The chocolate which do not contain sugar. So now every chocolate contains sugar, but if it is because the cocoa pod itself comes from the sugar. So dark chocolate, usually they use sugar percentages as well. But the sugar, when it is the chocolate who write it down, no added sugar. There should not be any chocolate been legally mentioned that sugar free. That is another wrong sentence. No added sugar. So no added sugar means there is no extra added sugar into a cocoa mass. But cocoa pod itself has a sugar because it is a fructose is there. So which one is good? It is you need to read on the back of the slip that this is a sugar, no added sugar, and this no added sugar content, which all are the no added sweetening तो थोड़ा देना ही पड़ता है, तो उसमें उन लोगों ने क्या use किया है. So that is a no added sugar. And now I cannot talk about the brand. Very honestly, I know many Indian brands make the better no added sugar chocolate than the European brand. I can vouch for it, and I tried it. Many of those Indian brands are making it.
What about chocolate with stevia in it? Would that be?
See, सच बोलूं, stevia और ये सारे चीज, देखो, no, stevia is a sugar replacer, and this sugar replacer need to be added into a cocoa mass, and then, so if it is a natural stevia, it is good. Good, you can.
So
I say for them, it's always best, make your own bean to bar for those who are sugar patients and all. Like kind of, you take the sugar, you take the beans, crush it, then add some your own additive to part out there. Then after that you do it. You can do it at a domestic way.
So we enjoy this liqueur-filled chocolate, for example, cherry liqueurs. So do you need a license to make them? Yeah.
Yes, any liquor you need a license, excise license. Sorry, I'm just having a water.
Yeah, please. You've been talking for long, so yeah, you do need that. So there's a major competition with so many home bakeries coming up. How can you make your business stand out?
It is your part. You have to be different from out of the box. Everybody is making, today, home bakery, mein everybody is making flour from the decorative cakes and all. सब कोई बनाता है. सब कोई chocolate बनाता है. ठीक है, but you have to be think different from that box. And you can think it. There are many ways you can do the own boxes out there.
So there's another question, what ingredients are used in spraying to make chocolate shining, especially in chocolate sculpture? Is it cocoa butter?
Yeah, it's cocoa butter.
Yeah. How can we manage cost control? I think Chef has spoken about it. Okay, now there is another question. Zomato, Swiggy have come up with, it's a no-cook month that is going on, right? So give 60%, for example. If I'm selling my brownie for, say, 150 rupees, to what price shall I increase the price so that I will not incur much loss? Mention and ask the discount. Please suggest.
Would I say everything
Aggregators,
to the open media? It is not good, because sometimes I also need to work for some brands also. Honestly, that's why I would always recommend that please allow me not to speak on any brands or anybody.
Right.
And it is just, I really apologize, because very smartly, it is when it is a personal wise, I can talk to that person. And that is why that is where my consulting firm work for it.
Absolutely, point taken, Chef.
Because we are here not to talk about anybody's brand.
Absolutely.
And not
Absolutely
endorsing any brand. That's
absolutely acceptable. Any other questions? Anyone? Okay. Thank you so much, Chef, for the valuable session where you touched upon creating an entire bakery setup, basically, right from scratch, from the cocoa plant going up to the profitability, and everything was covered.
Thank you.
We're not done yet. Give some tips for beginners. Just a parting.
I would say that yes, for the beginners and for everyone, first thing, think out of the box. Be innovations every day. And the third thing, don't think that I'm the best. I learned from my mistakes. I'm a chef. When I start my business, I think that I'm the best into the world. No, sorry. The customers need to decide that who is the best into the world.
Totally true. One more question, because I don't want to disappoint this person. Why, when melting chocolate, why don't we use water?
Water isn't bad resistance to chocolate. Because the moisture is always go opposite to the chocolate.
Any more questions? I think we're done with the questions, Chef.
Yeah, I have also another appointment.
Sure.
So I would say great, thankful, and if I really say sorry if I would have hurt anyone and I would not answer the right way to anybody, but I tried my best, and it's from my own experience. Stay connected. It is not that immediately I can connect all answers in Facebook. Tomorrow people will say, sir, this, blah, 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 on every time to be an open forum. I always try to be into a little bit professional on that part. And anything from my end, I'm open mind. And thanks to Bakers Arena for conducting this kind of show. Honestly, I'm very happy today to see all of them. So many people are interested in chocolate. People are really writing it down. There are so many schools are there online. But the last message, no schools can teach you unless and until you are doing your own practice. So my message is that your practice will make you perfect. There are many chefs, those who never gone to any schools, but today they are the master chefs of the world. I really salute them a lot.
Wow. Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you so much, Chef. Thank you so very much. I mean,
thank you.
It was,
Thank you.
I am sure for anyone who wants to step into becoming an entrepreneur, this would be a true guiding line.
Thank you.
Thank you
Sumit,
very much.
thank you so much, Abhiru. It was really a nice session. And yeah, so many, it was a learning, basically learned a lot from this session. Fantastic. And thank you so much.
Thank
Sumit,
you.
we also have Chef Sanjeev with us, I guess, and one more chef with us, I think. Maybe you should. Are you in a hurry, Abhiru?
No, I'm fine for 5 minutes.
5 minutes, yeah. Would you want to just... I just saw them, so we just said, should we say a hi to them? Chef,
Chef.
yeah.
Yeah, hi Chef, how are you? It was good, fantastically. Looking forward to have a great session in the competition also. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. So Sumit, you want to bring the session to an end?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Just,
so we do.
Let's just get a happy
yeah, we do that.
smiles.
Yes.
So
we do
let's
that.
have some cameras on, people, and let's see you guys. That smile of yours with a happy chocolate smile, and we can say bye to all of you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
I just say keep on doing all those sessions, and you've really done. I know you from long time. It is not that first time I'm with you, but since so many years. Please support Bakers Arena. Pass on this message to as many as your friends you like to. It is just not like a competition, I would say. It is your participation, and your participation brings your confidence much more bigger. Never and ever think that you are into a competition every time. I'm a failure many times, so it's not the failure. From every failure the success is more, so you don't stop it there, and there is no age limit is there. That is the best part in this, which I would like to congratulate and say good wishes to Sumit and the Deepa, that the effort that no age group limits, no professionals are separately kept, the different age groups and students are also kept separately, and very nicely structured. Even Indian delicacies, they have brought it into the competition. You use motichur laddu, you use all those things, and the good brands. I see that Rich, Haldiram, every brand, those who are very good into the market, they are supporting this arena. I'm sure You all will get a very nice participations here. So all the best. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thank
Chef.
you.
Namaskar.
And for
Thank
the
you,
final click, I request everyone to switch your cameras on. The parting shot. Yes. Redmi. Yeah, there we go. 1, 2, and 3.
Chocolate.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you
Bye-bye.
so much. Bye.
Have a
Thanks.
nice
Bye.
weekend.